I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Whoa, really? Oh, hang on. Oh. No, that's not right either. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got it. No. Oh god, can I reset it? Oh no. I would have said that, but it's not quite there. I really wish I could reset it. Shoot. I mean, it was like that or something. Unless... No, it's still the same deal. No, it's not that way. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. That's the closest I can get to it looking, but it's not it, and I know that for a fact. God, seeing this thing constantly dancing around, I don't like. The jar was falling. Oh! I mean, still... Fuck. I still don't see it. Ugh, shit. Well, I do see that one of the handles is broken off. Falling bottom. Oh, maybe. Okay, yep, I see it. Thank you. That helped me a lot. I would have been stuck on this for a fucking lot longer. That's probably as close as I can get it. This isn't right. Fuck. Allow me to remind the defense, its case hinges on the... Yeah, blah, blah. Mr. Wright can't match the shape. The witness drew, we cannot accept his claim. Got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally. Come on, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I know. Christ. Is it reset? Oh, perfect. This might help me a lot more. So... there... roundabout. Jesus. I mean, that would... That's all I could think, but that doesn't seem right either. Is that also not right? Fuck me, I'm never gonna get this. This is a pain. Thankfully, I'm not penalised, which is surprising. Right there. Do the same the first time, but better. Fuck. Shoot. I mean, my only idea is that, but it doesn't seem like that's accurate enough. Oh, hang on. Thank fucking Christ, I got it. Hooray! Well, is this a miracle or what? Oh my god. No, I thought the middle bit was higher up than the other bits. That's why... God damn it, I could've got it. I could've got it first try. If only I'd put the top horn, a bit further down. Son of a bitch. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. Ugh. I'm so glad they didn't penalise for that. No, it can't be. I think the reason they didn't penalise for that is because it's a pain in the ass to get it to match. Order, order! The defence has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Shut up, Edgeworth. Although we enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. Objection! You fool. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Its location, because that was... Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember where it's... On here. Where is it? Poof. Check the photograph. Yeah! That vase is where his safe is. Or at least I think it is, because that's where there's a suit of armour. So that was at the back of the room. Either way. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room. In Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Sorry, Lana. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? Ah! The suit of armour, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armour was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been... okay. Neil Marshall wielding the Prosecutor's Award. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking... Yes, therefore, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. I feel sick. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall... Oh, no! Oh no. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Oh, shit. Oh, that's awful. She ran to try and save him, and instead killed him. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. That's why Lana didn't want us to go any further. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? That is dark. How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? That explains why we also found her fingerprints on his, leather... I'm assuming his leather jacket or something. I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Ah, Christ. Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, we don't have anything. That is pretty bloody sad. I agree. We'll have to rely on a testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. You certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Why is Edgeworth looking so happy and smug? Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? You mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message? For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? We've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. Oh, is that the blood that's on the jar? This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. Yeah! No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. I mean, the jar's the only thing that makes sense for me. Because it does say blood traces. Although I don't see there being a message. I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't really see no blood. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it. It's the only thing I can think. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. Looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away, but blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No. She just doesn't want it because it's her sister, which I can understand. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. I think I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances, the murderer's name. I mean, from the looks of things, this makes an E. That makes an M. Oops. Whoop. Well, shit. EMA! That's kinda crappy. I don't wanna... It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. Yeah, but we're also fucking over Emma. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Ugh. Emma. So this is the final message. Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Now Lana's gonna go insane. Oh no. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. I can't help but feel like I'm doing a bad thing. I don't want to prove Emma is a murderer. It wasn't her fault. She was trying to protect him. See where they can't say I didn't warn you. No, look who it is. Chief Kent. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? I am a bad person. 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case. Were you not? Ack. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. What the fuck are those? But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up of evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Oh my god, heartburn. Go away. Ugh. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. He looks so menacing. Look at him. Oh dear. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Oh dear. Court is adjourned. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. Yep, fucking knew it. I'm seeing this game through to its completion. Fuck it. Oh, it's probably gonna take another hour or so, but I don't care. When I started recording this session, I was like, sod it, I'm completing the game. I did not think it would take a very, very long time, but... You know, that kind of shit happens. Oh well. Lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. Yeah. Fucking 2, right? I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Ah, Gumshoe, you never fail to show up at inopportune times. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Again he did that. Oh my god. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? We did that last time too. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Take Alana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. I'm really confused, because that was the exact same, word for word, that what he said the last time he came in. Hey, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. I'm sure you know the 2 rules of evidence law, don't you, Wright? Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Him? I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Okay. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? We're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Well, technically it is a choice-based game, but if you make the wrong choice, you fuck up. And usually get game over. But I do see where you're coming from. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour? The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Halifoy just bows. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the news, Your Honour. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls for the witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honour. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defence to call forth all further witnesses. Ah, nice. But there's never been a case example. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defence accepts the prosecution's proposal. Dunk! Then it's settled. The defence may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright? You do realise this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defence calls... The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Damon Gant. Ba-da-ba-da-bum! Ooh. Damon Gant. The defence calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As a defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. Yeah, lure him into a trap. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honour? True. Alright, bailiff. Please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Woo! Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. I fucking hate them. So, you want to play hardball, eh? No, I hate the fact he just stands there staring at the camera and blinking. Please, Mr. Gent. Fine. My name is Damon Gent. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gent, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this? Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. I do plan on playing more Telltale games and also more choice-based ones. It's just fun to sit back and watch as the game unfolds itself. One I want to do, like as soon as everything's out, is the Council. It might have piss-poor voice acting and lip-syncing and everything, but apparently it's got an incredible story, and your choices actually matter. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. That's just really threatening. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. So Gant might be the most terrifying witness. The SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. The power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Ugh. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, that better hit him hard and fast. But before I do that, I should probably read a book. I mostly just want to have a glance at the law book thing. Oh, I don't want to present anything. Actually, wait, I can. I'll present it, but I won't present it. Where is this book? There it is. Check it. No evidence. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. Okay. So they are the two rules we already know of. What the shit? Okay. Hold it. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. We slipped up, that power outage didn't help. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say, he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. That's not funny. I don't know why he keeps bringing that up. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Doc was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. Okay. I mean, that's a bunch of bullshit anyway. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down?